Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I have a fun but a very far-fetched fan theory, especially that when the Ahsoka series came out, a subscriber made a comment that Omega was Shin Hati. Let's dive into the fun and wild theory. On a far distant planet, the Bad Batch is still trying to find leads on Omega's location, but usually ends on a dead end. They are hanging out at a bar and overheard a traveler who ventured to Wayland claim that he was escorted off the planet, but while walking back to his ship, he heard clanking in a sequence. Then continues with his conspiracy of what the Empire is doing there. Hunter walks up to the traveler.
What was the sound? Like I said, it sounded like it was a sequence. I was only able to get part of it but was escorted off.
Do you have a recording?
Surprisingly, I do, but it's only part of it.
Let me hear it.
The traveler shakes his head.
It's not worth my time and risk to give out crucial information to strangers.
Hunter glares at the traveler.
I believe you should be more afraid of me than the Empire.
Yeah! We don't like people holding out information from us.
Look, I'll give you the information, but I need something from you.
He signals for credits. How about I let you walk out with working legs? As he grabbed the traveler by the clothes and brought him closer to him.
Okay.
He brings out the recording chip and Hunter grabs it. Hunter puts it in his pad and plays the recording. He hears the sounds and he replays it several times. Hunter looks up at Wrecker and Echo.
Let's go. What did it say?
Asked Echo.
Plan 99,
said a stranger. Echo and Hunter look at the stranger in confusion. That's our code,
How would you know that?
asked Hunter.
I know, read, and understand code. I know that you're going to an Imperial planet, but I can provide aid in your mission.
How would you do that? The stranger brings out a lightsaber hilt and places it on the table. A Jedi? How?
A surviving Jedi, I want to help against the Empire that caused all this pain and suffering.
Did you serve in the Clone Wars?
Yes, I have.
How do you know that we won't turn on you?
I can sense that you don't have any desire to kill me, but a desire to save someone. I just want to return the favor on what happened to my fellow Jedi.
That'll give us an advantage, Hunter.
Hunter hesitates. As long as we get Omega back, you're in, says Wrecker as he heads back to the ship.
Welcome to the squad.
The pleasure is all mine.
As he shakes hand and walks towards the ship. Back on Mount Tentis, Omega was a success in the experiment and started using the Force. Palpatine received word that she has started using the Force, but is still unable to control her Force abilities. He is pleased, but still wants to continue to do experiments and treatments on her. Omega would be in isolation to let go of hope. She can feel stronger each day goes by, but not strong enough to please the Emperor. The Emperor continues to want them to put torturous training on Omega to push through her training. Nalase could hear the screams and it would kill her inside the amount of torture that Omega is going through. She would plead for mercy, but it was denied, and it would influence more torture on Omega. The Bad Batch and Balin landed on Whelan at the outskirts of the Trooper Patrol. Using stealth, they were able to reach the perimeter. Echo was able to disable the alarms and open the doors. Hunter gave Echo the orders to find Omega, but her name wasn't in the system. Balin mentions to them that he could sense a force sensitive in the area. So they look up the containment areas in the system, and Echo was able to get the coordinates. They were able to make it to the containment area undetected and found a weak Nalase. Nalase told Hunter that they were holding her in a confidential room, but she doesn't know where. Hunter gives the order that Echo and Wrecker save the prisoners and secure a transport while Hunter and Balin go find Omega. Hunter and Balin are guided by the Force to find Omega. Encountering some troopers, Balin and Hunter were able to kill them without triggering the alarm. They were able to make it to Omega's confinement area, but she was passed out. Hunter tries to wake her, but she is too weak to acknowledge him. He grabs Omega and carries her out, as they both headed out towards the ship that Echo and Wrecker secured. Echo notified Hunter that they had to make it to the ship with urgency. Alarms started ringing and the Cologne commandos were in line to escort Hemlock. As the hangar bay was on lockdown, Nalase decided to leave the ship and head to the command center. As Hunter, Omega, and Balin were running, they encountered Hemlock and his battalion. Hemlock demanded Omega back before Hunter and Balin were slaughtered. Hunter was able to swing and shoot at the commandos while Balin jumped in front to deflect the blaster bolts. Hemlock makes a move towards Hunter, but Hunter is able to kick him out of the way. As the hallway clears, they make their way down the ship. They were able to get on the ship and she opened the doors. As they were in the process of taking off, Hunter, Wrecker, and Balin were holding off the commandos. Once Echo announced that it was ready, one by one they retreated back to the ship. Hunter was the last to leave the position. As he turns to go to the ship, Hemlock emerges from the shadows and tackles Hunter. They engage in a close-quarter battle in which Hemlock is able to get one of Hunter's knives. Everyone else was fighting and deflecting the clone commando shots. As Hunter and Hemlock were fighting, Hemlock was able to grab Hunter by the throat and stab him in an open area of his chest armor. Hunter screams in pain and looks Hemlock in the eyes.
You are nothing but an inferior clone.
He twists the knife in Hunter. Hunter yells in pain. Then he cocks his head and hits Hemlock in the head as hard as he can, and Hemlock loses his grip on Hunter. I am a bad batch. He grabs the knife and stabs Hemlock in the chest. Hemlock walks backwards in pain. Then Hunter gives a strong kick to the chest to Hemlock, which sends him flying backwards. Hunter collapsed to the ground, then Wrecker runs to collect him and comes on board. As the ship was leaving, troopers were able to enter the command center and killed Nalase. They tried to close the hangar doors, but the ship left. As they were traveling to the Marauder, Wrecker opens Hunter's armor to do first aid. Balin walks over to Omega and places his hand on top of her head. He closes his eyes as he can feel her pain, but senses that she is strong in the Force. He opens his eyes and comforts her by rubbing her head. They made it to the Marauder. Echo and Wrecker started helping Hunter inside the ship along with the prisoners. They assigned the medical droid to assist Hunter. Hunter continues to demand for Omega. As Wrecker and Echo head back to get Omega, Crosshair tries to tell Echo that Omega isn't what she was before, but they ignore him. As they got out of the ship, they see Balin holding Omega in his arms. They're waving for him to come inside the Marauder, but he doesn't move. Let's go before they find us here!
You don't realize what she has become. She is far more than you remember.
We can figure this out later. Let's go.
This is where we separate. I thank you for the assistance.
She is coming with us! Balin placed Omega down, which she had enough strength to stand.
Her destiny is with me.
Echo and Wrecker withdraw their weapons while Balin doesn't move a muscle. Wrecker walks towards Omega, but he is frozen in place. Hunter struggles to walk to the edge of the ship. Echo moves towards Omega, but he was force pushed by Omega into the ship. Crosshair sees Echo and Hunter inside the ship on the ground, so he started the ship. As the ship was starting up, it cuts Omega's concentration off, which frees Wrecker, and he charges towards Omega to grab her. Hunter was able to get up and walk to the edge of the ship. It's me, kid. Try to remember. As she's shaking Omega to make her remember, he feels a sharp pain in his abdomen. He looks down and sees an orange-bladed lightsaber, and it slides out to the side of his body. Hunter yells in disbelief. Wrecker drops to the ground along with Omega. Hunter grabs his last knife and throws it towards Balin, but Balin stops it and uses the force to throw it back at Hunter, which nails him to the chest. Echo screams at Crosshair to leave, which the ship leaves the location in off-world. Omega turns to Balin.
Very good, my new apprentice.
Balin reaches out.
I promise you that we will have peace and prosperity.
Omega hesitates.
I felt your pain. I promise you that you will not feel that pain anymore.
Omega hesitates, looks at his hand, then looks at him.
I promise you with my life.
Omega takes his hand and they walk to the ship and leave off-world. As they leave off-world, Balin turns to her.
Your new life begins today. Omega is gone. You will go as Hati, Shin Hati.
Shin looks at Balin.
Yes, Master.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this fanfiction is very far-fetched, especially that we know that Shin Hati is just a Padawan of Balin. Whether he found her, his child, so on and so forth, and it's not really Omega. Not unless the Bad Batch Season 3, which is basically the final season, explains something else. But when that subscriber sent me that comment about it, it just really sparked something up, and I wanted to create a fun and far-fetched theory. Again, I hope you liked this video. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel for future content. I'm dishing out a lot more fan fiction on the way. Alright, I'll catch you guys on the next one. And as always, may the force be with you always.